students, and welcome to the second half of the week one discussion. We talked a little bit in the first video. I talked, you guys had to listen, but I tried to supply your voices about what constitutes religion. And while our discussion was certainly not exhaustive, there's always more to say. I think I was able to give you some ideas and some frameworks to begin talking about this category that we call religion. So now I'd like to think about this category we call popular culture. What does that mean? And what fits into it? And in some ways, it's easier to start throwing out those ideas than it is to draw boundaries, because it's a really big category. And I think the more we talk about it, the more things you will find that fit into it. So, of course, we're starting with looking at these three series, The Simpsons, Family Guy, and South Park. And there are many others we could have chosen, but it worked well because Feltmate's written this interesting book about them and the way religion presents. But religion is also in film. Religion is in soap operas. Religion is presents in clothing that we wear, in jewelry. So we can have, here's a little piece of popular culture, and it's from, of course, Dia de los Muertos, Sugar Skull. Or it can be, it's a hand that shows up in Mexican culture, you can find the Milagro hands in Catholic churches, but it's Hand of Fatima when we talk about Islam, and this hand also is Miriam, Hand of Miriam. You can find it in Judaism. It's the Hamza, or the five. It's interesting the way images from religion show up in so many spaces. We're going to be talking about rap music. We're going to be talking about some punk music. We will think about social movements. We will think about images used in advertising. And the list kind of goes on and on. So, but I also want us throughout the course to be thinking about race and the way certain spaces are racialized, and the way certain religious categories get racialized and presented in pop culture. It's a way we take in a lot of information. Feltmate talks about that we get all these messages about other religions other than our own, if we belong to a religion, and how that may be the most information that some people take in about religion. They may never formally study religion in any way, and this becomes a basis of understanding. So it is important to think about what information we're taking in and how we're processing that information. Do we have a critical lens for thinking about what messages we're receiving? So race, gender is important, and I think particularly because of the first three series we're starting with, you'll watch I think I posted the Homer the Heretic, and of course Feltmate talks about that. And one of the interesting things as you watch, well, I won't disclose it but I want you to be watching for the presence of particular gender roles, what the population of that church looks like. I mean, these are cartoon characters, but do you get a sense of what kind of space that is? Is it a diverse space, or is it a particular kind of space? Also, be looking for intertextual ideas. So pop culture often riffs off or plays off of other pieces of pop culture. So if you're observant, I think you'll find several places where that happens in some of the episodes. You will see the way in the Simpsons episode that there's a focus on the way God is presented on particular pieces of U.S. Legal tender. You can think about God in the dream. God is in Homer's dream, and what is that? What does it mean to meet God in your dreams? There's a reference. There's a Pentecostal joke or joke directed towards Pentecostals, and see if you catch that. I think there's poking some fun at a vacation Bible school kind of song that may be familiar to some of you. And as Feltmate says, there's some sense of gesturing towards this tension in U.S. religious culture between religious and spiritual. And part of this dilemma, you know, is Homer going to get up and go to church on Sunday, and what kind of bargain is he trying to make with God? Points to that tension and explores it. And I think there's also, see if you catch who Homer is gesturing towards when he talks about someone else who might have been a heretic in his time, and see if you pick up on that. So I think that's all for this piece. I may post one more short lecture as we get further into the week, but for now I will leave you there and see you next time. Thank you.